What's up, everybody, and welcome back to NFL Hard Count. Well, it's official. All of the head coaching spots are filled for the 2024 season, and there are some teams who got their number one guy, and there are some teams who decided to pick up their second, or third, or even fourth choice. But those teams who will be in the market for a head coach for the 2025 season are surely going to be in a perfect spot to pick up one of the best coaching prospects in the league today, the Texans offensive coordinator, Bobby Slowik. Bobby Slowik, like some of the other hot offensive minds in the league like Ben Johnson, decided to stay with his current team in his current coaching role as offensive coordinator. And to be honest, the Texans might have stolen one this offseason by keeping Bobby Slowik on their staff. DeMeco Ryans was a rookie head coach, CJ Stroud was a rookie QB, and Bobby Slowik was their rookie offensive coordinator for the 2024 season. That's a whole lot of rookies in pretty big roles for an NFL franchise. It did take a little time to get their season rolling, but look how Bobby Slowik's offense performed at the end of the 2024 season and in the playoffs. Bobby Slowik's decision to stay in Houston will give him another season to coach up CJ Stroud, another season to try and win their division and head back to the playoffs.
Stroud from the pocket for the end zone, the catch.
And another season to show off his impressive mastermind to the NFL as a product of Kyle Shanahan's impressive coaching tree. But there's no doubt the Houston Texans will have a tough time keeping Bobby Slowik in the building for the 2025 season. But who exactly is Bobby Slowik anyways? And why did he suddenly become one of the fastest and hottest prospects for that coveted NFL head coaching job? Well, if you were directly mentored by one of the greats like the legendary Broncos head coach Mike Shanahan, you are just destined to do great things in the league. And it's not an understatement that football was just running through Slowik's veins. Growing up as a coach's son, he was exposed to the sport because of his father, Bob Slowik, who has a great resume as a coach not just in the NFL, but also in the CFL. Bobby's father, Bob, was a former defensive coordinator for the Broncos, Packers, Browns, and Bears. He even won the Super Bowl with the Dallas Cowboys in the 1992 season as a defensive assistant. His coaching career was stacked. Up until today, Bob Slowik is still making his name in football, as he is currently the linebackers coach for the Calgary Stampeders of the Canadian Football League. And what exactly is a Stampeder anyways? For all of you Canadian football fans out there, please let us know in the comments section below, what is a Stampeder? I guess that name is better than the Washington Commanders mascot, but who knows? Anyways, if you have a father who has deep knowledge of the game, there's a high chance you're going to inherit it. And that was exactly what happened to Bobby Slowik. But Bobby's path to becoming just like his father started a little differently. Well, you could argue that if you wanted to learn the game, you would have to play it, and that's what Bobby did. After attending Michigan Tech University, Bobby Slowik played for the college team as a wide receiver. Yes, a wide receiver. Bobby spent 3 years wearing the Huskies jersey, and in his final year in 2008, Bobby started in 10 games, recording 43 receptions for 603 yards and 4 touchdowns. Not bad, honestly, especially for a guy who's 5'10" and weighs only $170. With his college resume and physical comparisons to other NFL draft prospects and free agents not enough to get him as a wide receiver in the league, Bobby redirected his career and somehow landed a position in the NFL, a video assistant for the Washington Redskins in 2010. Do not underestimate a video assistant or those unpaid internships around the league, because roles like these collectively make or break an entire team, and they ultimately get your foot in the door to better football staff positions. As a video assistant, Slowik was responsible for the breakdown of upcoming opponents, giving thorough scouting reports. He even helped the department's operations by assisting the coaching and scouting staffs. His football knowledge was quickly recognized by Washington. And of course, when you have a known father specializing in the defensive side of the field, there will be hopes that the DNA has passed through. So after just 1 year in the NFL, Slowik transitioned to become an assistant defensive coordinator for the Washington Redskins. And guess which coach he was under? The legendary Mike Shanahan. And as the saying goes, most apples don't fall far from the tree. And that is certainly the case for Mike Shanahan's coaching tree, which has produced a lot of success stories here in the NFL. And where better to start than with his own son, Kyle Shanahan, who's currently leading the 49ers to their second Super Bowl in 4 years. Well, Kyle's best weapon is his knack for getting the most out of any QB that's under center, from Jimmy Garoppolo and Nick Mullins to Brock Purdy. Well, with the exception of Trey Lance, that is. You know who else was in the Mike Shanahan coaching tree? Miami Dolphins head coach Mike McDaniel. And he's now revolutionizing the offense down there in South Beach. I mean, he just rejuvenated Tua's career with his Go Fish British offense. And that's just some, not to mention the Packers' Matt LaFleur, the Rams' Raheem Morris, and now, arguably, of course, the most successful of them all, the young and talented Sean McVay. Now, I wouldn't recommend going around telling all of those Redskins or Commanders fans out there that they once had all 5 of these coaches on their staff over 10 years ago with their head coach Mike Shanahan, who should be in the Hall of Fame one of these years soon. Who knows about that one? But with Bobby Slowik in the mix for a head coaching job in 2025, it could be said that Mike Shanahan has one of the best coaching trees in the game today. And you see the trend now, don't you? Being a direct descendant of Mike Shanahan's coaching tree will increase your chances of being an outstanding coach in the NFL. And teams are waiting to see which apple falls next from that tree. Bobby Slowik in the 2010s worked under Mike Shanahan for 3 years in the then Washington Redskins. But right after the 2013 season, after Mike Shanahan was fired, Slowik was also released from the team. It was a huge setback for Slowik, as he was still trying to make a name for himself in the NFL, and it seemed like Slowik's coaching career would need to wait for a while as he worked with Pro Football Focus as a senior analyst. Slowik became responsible for grading NFL players and also reviewing the grading of other analysts. The PFF detour was a weird stop for an aspiring coach, but for Slowik, it was a blessing in disguise. He said this: "I learned a lot. There are many different ways to look at the game. There are many different ways to break it down. There are a lot of different angles you can take as far as how you splice it up." Bobby spent 3 years at PFF before he got the call up, this time from Mike Shanahan's son, Kyle Shanahan, to be on his coaching staff with the Niners as a defensive quality control coach in 2017 through 2018. But Bobby's calling was somewhere else, and it wasn't on the defensive end of the field. He wanted to be an offensive coach in the NFL. He didn't want to coach defense. But like all great mentees, he listened to the advice of Shanahan when he told him all great offensive coaches need to learn to coach the defensive side of the ball. Of course, Shanahan was right, and Bobby Slowik's coaching skills started to flourish when he was moved to the offense as an offensive assistant. During the 2019-2020 season, he made an immediate impact, coaching the Niners fullback Kyle Juszczyk to set career highs in carries, rushing yards, and rushing touchdowns, and also a selection to the Pro Bowl. That 2020 season also featured Brandon Ayuk's historical rookie season, in which he led the team in receptions and receiving yards. Slowik's offensive coaching run with the Niners put him on the map. In 2021, Slowik also helped wide receiver Deebo Samuel earn AP first-team All-Pro honors and his first Pro Bowl selection as Slowik became the team's offensive pass game coordinator. Under Slowik's offense, the 49ers wide receivers were on a tear. In 2022, wide receiver Brandon Ayuk, under the supervision of Slowik, reached career highs in receptions, receiving yards, and touchdowns. As a passing coordinator, Slowik led the Niners to have 5 players record over 400 yards receiving for the first time since 1992. And I don't need to tell you who was on that 49ers team back in the day, do I? Okay, well, just in case you didn't know, or have been living under a rock, or weren't born yet, or decided to live in Antarctica for the past 30 years, here is who was on that amazing Niners team: Jerry Rice, John Taylor, Ricky Watters, and tight end Brent Jones. And that list doesn't even include the big guy, and arguably the best fullback in the history of the league, Tom Rathman, who had 443 yards receiving that year. And you could even say that Slowik was responsible for the unlikely hero for the Niners in 2022, the 7th-round rookie quarterback, Brock Purdy. Following Garoppolo's injury in Week 13,
Steph over there taking a look at him. That left ankle gets rolled up.
Slowik's offensive scheme helped Purdy throw for nearly 1,400 yards, 13 touchdowns, and an absurd quarterback rating of 107.3. After a magnificent 6-year stint with the 49ers, Slowik was approached by several teams for a coaching staff position. The Houston Texans, however, gave Slowik a chance to run his own offense as they hired him as their offensive coordinator. And his first year running the show in Houston was just spectacular. His knack for pulling out the very best in every player was just elite. His time with PFF surely didn't count for nothing. The Texans were in a rough patch starting the 2023 season, with the offense taking a hit in the past couple of years in the absence of what should have been their franchise quarterback, Deshaun Watson. Well, they got to work on what they had. And oh boy, the Texans surely do have something with their brand new quarterback, the breakout star, rookie CJ Stroud. There were no expectations with the Texans, especially with their dysfunctional offense. But with Slowik's guidance, CJ Stroud became a top 10 quarterback in the league.
Stroud to the end zone, touchdown!
In his first year, as the Texans finished 13th in the NFL in scoring and 7th in passing yards. And mind you, analysts ranked the Texans' offensive line dead last. They even won the AFC South Division and advanced to the divisional round of the AFC playoffs. Slowik accepted the Texans' offensive coordinator job knowing that the team's offensive line was rated at the end of the pack. And yet, there he is, shifting the narrative and using every tool he's got to turn the team's offense upside down, all with a rookie quarterback. Well, when you have an excellent first year as an offensive coordinator and Mike and Kyle Shanahan as your initial mentors, teams will definitely love to take a peek. So in the 2024 head coaching hunt, Bobby Slowik's name was heavily mentioned. He was considered by many teams not just to run their offenses, but their entire teams. The Falcons, Commanders, Panthers, and Titans were the frontrunners in the signing of the 36-year-old stud and offensive savant. Slowik received second interviews with the Falcons and the Commanders, but both teams also decided that it was too early for Slowik to have the keys to his own team. Or Bobby Slowik turned down both teams to stay in Houston and get another crack at getting the Texans back into the playoffs. Sure, one season might be a little too short to see if Slowik has what it takes to run his own show. But if Slowik can replicate his 2023 coaching year into 2024, he will surely make headlines again next year. Just one more year of consistency would make teams put up a dogfight just to sign the hottest commodity in town. When you have a young and versatile coach like Bobby Slowik who can adapt to every team situation, teams surely won't be able to pass that up. 2024 will be a critical season for Slowik. It will make or break his entire career. One more year to get some seasoning as a coach. Teams are closely watching, and it's up to Bobby Slowik to be the man. The head coaching carousel set for 2025 will surely be an entertaining one. Thanks for watching, and leave your comments in the comments section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel to get the latest news around the NFL. See you next time.